What is up, YouTube? JankyYGO here. My name is Michael, and today we have Windwitches coming out in Blazing Vortex. That's right, we're getting new Windwitch monster support. You know, that deck that threw the engine people threw into decks to get out Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. The deck was really good, or the cards were really good at just throwing into decks to summon out Crystal Wing. And I'm looking forward to see what the new support does. So, anyway, first up is Windwitch Blizzard Bell, which is a Wind Spellcaster Tuner that's a level 5 with 1800 attack and defense. Its second effect is a hard once per turn. If you control no monsters or all monsters you control are Windwitches, you can normal summon this card without tribute. During your opponent's main phase, if you control a Windwitch monster other than itself, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Now, I don't think this card is as good as the first three Windwitch cards we got. I think that those ones kind of really set the bar for what the deck should be like. You know, one special summons itself and one from the deck. The other one special summons itself from the hand. One searches when it's summoned and all that, and protects your Wind Synchro monsters. I think that the bar was pretty high from the original ones, which makes me think a little bit less of this card. I don't think it's a horrible card. I just think that it's not as good as the other Windwitches, and I think that they kind of fell a little bit short. But yeah, moving on is Windwitch Freeze Bell. Windwitch Freeze Bell is a level 3. 1200 attack and defense. You can only use its first effect once per turn. If all monsters you control are Windwitch monsters, minimum 1, you can special summon this card from your hand once per turn. You can increase this card's level by 1. And its third effect is a Wind Synchro monster using this card's material cannot be destroyed by battle. So, this card is more on par with the first three Windwitches we got. The ones that people threw into engines and decks just because they were good a few years ago, and because they made Crystal Wing basically by themselves. I think that this card is more on par with that. This is more like what the deck I associated with the deck is that you just get a special summon stuff, and then it benefits you from making Wind Synchro monsters like this card does. So I think what's good about this card in particular is not only does it special summon itself, it also protects the Wind Synchro monster that you make. I mean, being protected by battle isn't as relevant as the level 1, which protected from card effects. But if you make a Wind Synchro monster, which I don't know if there is one off the top of my head, that cannot be targeted, you have a monster, if you use this one and the level 1, that cannot be targeted, cannot be destroyed by card effects, and cannot be destroyed by battle, which makes it really, really hard to get over. So that's something to keep in mind. I think that, I think Windwitches are pretty good in general. Like, they seem like they're the type of deck that they're what an archetype kind of should be. There are restrictions to them, but you get to just summon out monsters, and I think that that's what most archetypes should kind of strive to do, is like, yes, have your own unique identity, but at the end of the day, we're Yu-Gi-Oh! 2020, and we need to be able to throw out monsters kind of left and right. So yes, Freeze Bell I think is a shoo-in in decks that, in either the Windwitch deck if you're going to play a more pure version, or if you want to play something like throw the Windwitches back into like another engine, Anyway, moving on to the level 8 Synchro. Windwitch Diamond Bell. Level 8, 2000 attack, 2400 defense. It's a provides any tuner, but it's not tuners, must be wind monsters. Its first effect is a hard once per turn. If this card is secret summon, you can target one Windwitch monster in your graveyard. Inflict damage equal to your opponent, equal to half of its attack. English. Once per turn. If your opponent takes a battle or effect damage, you can target one card on the field, destroy it. This effect can only be used twice a turn if you use only Windwitch monsters. So, I think that this makes the level 5 a little bit better, and that's only because you can summon this, pitch it, and everything. Since the level 5's hand effect is a quick effect, you can like inflict 500 and then you get a destroy card. I still think making Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon is better than this card. Has more attack, has a negation. They can't attack over it really, and if they have a level, if they're using like level 5s and stuff like that, because Crystal Wing's effect. Overall, Crystal Wing's better, a better wind monster to use your Wind Witches into. This one's not bad though. In terms of if you're playing just pure Wind Witches, like casually with a friend, this card is decent-ish. And it inflicts more damage and everything to your opponent when you're synchro climbing, if you're going even further than 8 for some reason. Next up, Chime of the Windwitch. Chime of the Windwitch is a normal spell card. You can only activate this card, one card with this card's name per turn. You not special summon monsters the turn you activate this, except for wind monsters. You can target one Windwitch monster, special summon one Windwitch monster with a different name from your deck in defense position. What I like about this card is, so in the original 3, you had the one that if you controlled no monsters, you could special summon it from your hand to special summon out another Windwitch, which was usually the level 4 tuner, that if it was normal or special, you got to add a Windwitch. Well, if that got Ash Blossomed, you're kind of sitting in tall grass, or you're kind of, up the creek without a paddle. But with this card, what it allows you to do is, if they Ash Blossom that card, you can use this and continue the plays, and this guarantees you your Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. If you have an awkward hand, maybe you can summon the level 1, like normal summon level 1, activate this, summon the level 4 that lets you add, and summon the new level 3, assuming they don't have an Ash Blossom to stop this card. I think this card is pretty good. It allows you to keep combo plays going too if you already have your setup going. It allows you to recover from an Ash Blossom if they Ash Blossom your one card. And in general, it's just a good card. So yeah, definitely something to play in the Windwitch deck. Last but not least is, well, probably least, I'm not a big fan of a lot of traps, is Ice Wind's Refrain, which is a normal trap card. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Activate one of these effects. Target one witch monster in your graveyard, special summon in defense position. Its other effect is when your opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of your Windwitch monster's effect, you can negate that opponent's effect. So this card is decent if you're going first. You can, make your level 8, I guess, Windwitch, use the level 5 on their turn to destroy something, and then if they, let's say they have, for the sake of argument, let's say they try to negate it somehow. Well, you flip this up, you can stop it and guarantee the destruction off. That's pretty good, and it's also, at worst, a back to the front for the archetype. So both these effects are pretty decent. I just think that if you're playing Wind Witches, you want to be making proactive plays than making and use your negations on your monsters in your extra deck rather than trap cards on the field. Mainly because trap cards are a little slow, and I think this also comes down to an issue. You could argue that Nibiru, the primal being, and everything, and stuff like that. But I think that's just an issue that Wind Witches are going to have to live with, since they tend to summon out multiple monsters and everything. They summon out at least 5 when they finish their board, which triggers Nibiru and everything. So, yeah. Anyway, that is it for today. You tell me what you guys think in the comments section below. what you think about the new Windwitch cards. Are they good? Are they bad? Do you think the trap card is better than I'm giving it credit for? Do you think the level 5 is and the new Synchro are better than I'm giving them credit for? Since I only really like the spell and the level 3. You know, you guys can tell me in the comment section below. I won't be offended. Probably will reply to your comment with a heart. Maybe I'll heart your comment. Maybe I'll be like, I'll tell you you have a good point. I'm pretty easy to get my mind changed on cards. It just depends on, which cards are which. Anyway, if it's your birthday today, happy birthday. If you want to send me any cool deck profiles or replays, my email's in the description. And of course, and as always, have a wonderful day.